We still in Austin, Texas, South by Southwest. Here with the soon-to-be legends. Well, maybe not soon, but these motherfuckers is doing their thing out here. They cold as hell with the beats, double O. You know what I'm talking about? Knowledge is amazing with the raps. Tell us the name of your album that's in stores now. Where did it derive from? Whose idea was it? Like, how did that come together, man?
The album, Land of Make Believe, it came out last week, March 9th. To be honest, it was just like us saying like we're tired of like this industry fake shit. You know what I mean? It's really the land of make believe. Like you in the industry, you know how this shit is. Like everybody is they bite their tongues, they walk on eggshells. But when I talk to people, I'm like, yo, what goes on in your life when you go home? You know what I mean? Like what goes on when you really are trying to get shit cracking, when you gotta pay rent, when you gotta deal with your girlfriend, what's going on? That's what this album is about, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people fake in front and they got chains and they got whips, but we like to give reality music, and I think like a lot of niggas think they give reality music, but they really just making figments of people's imaginations, you know what I mean?
Tell us your thoughts on that, man.
Yes.
Awesome. That's
can I give a shout
informative.
Can I give a shout out to Double O's hair?
Yo.
Give a shout out to Double O's hair, and that he's a brand new producer over there. One day he may be something. I don't really know. He just started. He's like, it's like Fruity Loops, I think he works with. One day he may be something.
This
guy's a jerk.
When you know the people you interviewing, that's what the fuck happens.
Tell us, I want to know what song was the hardest to make, not like to write, but like for you to like, you know what I'm saying? Knowingly, just fucking put it out there and express yourself with, man.
To me, Take Over the World, which is our second single, and it's produced by Just Blaze and Double O, and actually the homie from the crib, DA. You know DA, right? That was the hardest. I had to rewrite that shit like 5 times. Every time I sent a version of the record, because I was recording in Chicago and he was in New York, I would send it to him and Just, and they'll be like, yo, this shit's whack, rewrite it.
You never said it.
Nah, you might as well have said it was whack. They know they can't tell me something's whack because I won't be motivated to rewrite it, so they try to like code word it like it wasn't really what we expected. Just say it's whack. Just say it's fucking whack. So anyway, I rewrote it like 5 times, and the final time we got it right, it was when he was in Chicago, and that's usually how it works. When we're in the same room, the shit usually happens easier. So that record is probably like the crown jewel. Right now it's playing on ESPN like round the clock right now. We just licensed it out, so it's playing on Sports Center. So if you hear our record, it's for a reason, you know what I mean?
It wasn't whack. The verses weren't whack. It was just about creating a record to fit lyrically what already was there beat-wise. When the beat is so big, you can't just rap on it. You have to mean something with it. So it was about just really trying to make sure that was coming across. And, you know, it's just getting the best performance out of the situation. And that's all it is.
All right. And I got a similar question for you. Let us know.
Shut your face.
What is I got to interview you, so I can't do that. But what's the beat or production-wise, the music sample that you use or whatever that came the fastest for you that you completed, and what took you the longest to complete? What songs?
I mean, they all come pretty fast. Like the basic ideas usually come out pretty easily. It's always built around some sort of melody or a drum pattern that I build out. So those come pretty fast. I mean, it's not just, I'm not a beat maker. I make records, you know what I'm saying? So just because I made a beat doesn't mean the process is over. You know, like he's in Chicago, so he'll send lyrics back, he'll send verses back, and it's like, all right, now we got to make a hook, and then we'll then crafting a hook, and then building on top of that. Like it took us a year to make this album. About 6-7 months, but then we went back and fine-tuned it. And so, like, to me, the whole album, you know, is a process. Like, I put everything into it. I make sure every hi-hat sounds right, every pop on a C or a S that Knowledge has in a word sounds right. Like, I have to make sure I go back and become the mad scientist and craft everything and make sure it's songs at the end of the day and not just freestyles and not just like loose ideas. It's about really bringing them all in. So every song is always a long process for us.
Now, you guys had a very memorable moment on 106, not 106 in Park. I want to say it's
TRL?
No. It was Rap City, I think, where you played the drums,
yeah.
And this guy freestyled.
Yeah.
Joe, Did you guys plan that, or were you like at the moment like, fuck it, let's do it?
I mean, I brought the equipment knowing that we needed to do something bigger than just play a record and rap on it. Yeah. But, you know, it just so happened to just come together right. You can still never plan it. As much as you can be like, this is what we're going to do. If he doesn't show up lyrically and if I all of a sudden start fucking up timing, like it's all over. So, you know, it just came together, and I think it's one of those classic moments for me on BET, you know. And I was just glad to have the opportunity, because before that we hadn't really had a chance to really crack on BET at all, so.
What was going through your head, man, when you was spinning that verse? That shit was hot, dog.
Well, the verses, I mean, rapping that's my life. That's easy. I think the thing that the BET thing really proved to people was, I'm on Twitter all the time and on social networking and shit, and people were like, yo, well, what does 00 do? You know what I'm saying? And for us to be on a show like Rap City or The Deal or whatever, it was like, okay, well, now we can show kind of what we do during our live show, because if you watched our live show, you see he's playing the drums the whole time, and he's DJing, and he's multitasking at all times. Me, like, I'm just catching the beat, and you know what I mean? And for me, while it is a talent and it's hard, like, I don't multitask. I have one goal: spit the dopest verse I can spit, and then leave it there. You know what I mean?
Now, last year, man, you was going off of the head, spitting a lot of freestyles over a lot of these industry beats, and we were loving it, man. You were getting a great response, great feedback. Do you plan on continuing to do that?
Hell yeah, like, my point was to be like, yo, I just felt like people weren't recognizing me as a lyricist, and I was just like, I hear a lot of rappers and I just don't feel them, and I always say I'm better, and they're like, well, if you think you're better, then prove it. So it's just like, I had to like up my output, you know what I'm saying? It's not just about albums anymore, and it's, you know, even back home in Chicago, a lot of people like don't recognize me as one of the best rappers in Chicago, where I feel like I'm definitely at least in the top 3-4 rappers in Chicago, if not the best. I feel I'm the best rapper, period. You're supposed to feel that way, but I was just like, fuck it, let me get in the studio and really record and show people what I do.
All right, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and give us some parting words.
It's your man 00.
Knowledge born, we are the kids in the hall, you know what it is.
And you are checking out Urban Grind TV.
You're watching Ugtv.